Alright, so let's get the elephant out the room. I'm back in Chiefs gear, happy to talk about my favorite topic to bring to the pod, but last year wasn't all that great. Finishing 6-11, not making the playoffs, Patrick Mahomes ending the season on a nasty knee injury. It's safe to say it's been hell in Chiefs Kingdom. But that's all about the change because we're in the offseason now. We got free agency to look forward to. We got the draft coming up to look forward to. And I think if we strategize the right way, if Veach pulls his head out of his then we can actually get back into championship contention in just one season. Now, I didn't think we could jump back in a season, but I think if we make some of the right moves, pull some of the right strings, we've already made a few steps in the right direction, we could be back in championship contention in just one offseason. But before we get into all the good stuff, guys, welcome back to the Social Club. I'm your host, Serg. Happy and proud to be back in Chiefs gear here on the set. While we're here, go ahead and smash that subscribe button down below. You know we got to keep the lights on. Go ahead and tap follow on all the social media pages and share this video with a friend. Share your favorite video with a friend and help us expand this brand even further beyond. But let's jump right into it. First things first, when we knew this had to happen, Patty Mahomes restructuring the contract, freeing up about $43 million in cap space himself just from reducing a $78 million cap hit to I think like a $34 million. I don't remember the exact numbers. It's $70 million something to $30 million something. It freed up about $43.5 million. And shortly after that, releasing Mike Dana gave us about another $10 million in cap space. So we've now freed up about $50 million cap space. So we can actually, we can make some things happen in the offseason now. Now, here's the thing. I don't think we're done with cap space. I think we still got some room to go. First things first, get Jawaan Taylor off the team. I don't care that he's a pretty good pass protector when he's not getting penalized. The problem is this man has been the most penalized player in the league, I think, for 3 seasons straight. It's at least been 2. So I'm sorry, but that's not something that we can carry. That's a burden we need to go ahead and let go. Jawaan Taylor is replaceable. Following that, I do think that Chris Jones needs a restructure. Reason being is because Chris Jones is turning 32 years old this year, contract nearing his end in 2028, and I do think that will be his sunset. And in all that, this season, he's shown he has taken a step back in productivity. I will die on the hill to say we lost the Jacksonville game primarily because Chris Jones wanted to take a few plays off. So the way I see it, while we still got him under contract, make him work for that bit of money. Go ahead and take some of that guaranteed money, put it towards season incentives, put it towards some bonuses. And reason being because he showed he was kind of just, he was playing on autopilot a little bit last year. I think it was till like game 5 or game 6 that he actually woke up and we got to see some of the Chris Jones we've known to come and love over the years he's been with us. But we simply can't have that because we still need him to be at peak productivity for the remainder of the time we have him because our defensive line needs some help already, and I will be circling back to that later. But restructure that contract, free up some of that money as well so we can have even more to play with in the offseason. Now, jumping into the offseason, there are a few people that we need to target in free agency. There's also some people I got eyes on in the draft, and I think some of these will surprise you. But first things first, we do need some help on the defensive line. Now, personally, I don't think we should prioritize this in free agency. I'm going to follow up with what we should prioritize in a moment. However, I do think if we don't prioritize this in the draft, this would absolutely need to be critical for us to capture in free agency. And the one name that jumps off the page to me amongst the rest is Boy Maffey. Seattle linebacker. I could be saying his last name wrong. I honestly don't know. I have no idea how to pronounce his name, but I'm going to go with Boy Maffey. Reason being, kid's young. He's only 27 years old. He's athletic as hell. He's amongst top 10 rushers in the NFL as of last season, and he's everything in what Spagnuolo would want in a free rusher. I mean, we're talking about a guy that plays linebacker half the time and hybrids over to the defensive end position. Reason being, this kid is young. He's 27 years old. He's athletic as hell. I'm pretty sure he's top 10 amongst edge rushers in the league as of last year. And he fits into Spagnuolo's defensive scheme almost perfectly. I know his sack total dropped last year, which is one thing to consider, but also consider he won almost 20% of his pass rushes. And on top of that, I think he had 30 or 32, 33 QB pressures. Like, that's the kind of noise we need coming off the line. If the sack total drops, that's room for somebody else on the line to pick it up at. But that is absolutely young talent that is yet to really peak. He's still climbing. He's still got room to grow, and I think that's the best part about it yet, because you don't have to pay him like a superstar. I think he's projecting only, I want to say like 10 to 13 or 14 million on a 2 or 3 year deal. I think he's absolutely worth every penny of that. And if we don't prioritize an edge in the draft, this should absolutely be where we do. Now, moving right along, that takes me to who we should be prioritizing in free agency. And there's one name that jumps out amongst all of the rest. That is none other than Travis Etienne. I know a lot of us were upset about not getting Breece. Hell, I am a lot of us. I was pissed we didn't get Breece Hall, especially when I found out it was just by 1 round of a pick. I was like, there's really no way we couldn't sacrifice a 3rd round for this guy. But looking back, hindsight, I was like, maybe we tackle him in free agency come the offseason, but he's projecting $15, $16 million a year. I just don't think we need to be investing in that in a running back right now. Whereas Travis Etienne is all the player Breece Hall is, you could argue even more valuable, and he's only projected like a $9, $10 million cap hit. I would gracefully give him $10 million a year. On a 2 or 3 year deal, that cements that backfield for years to come. And let's not act like Travis Etienne is not a freak of nature as well. He's been Jacksonville's heartbeat of their offense for years now. And he's everything we could want out of a dual threat running back. Being able to catch out the backfield, he picks up his blocks when he needs to. He's explosive through every gap he sees, and when he sees that second level, he doesn't stop. He's trying to get everybody out the way to keep it moving. So the way I see it, this guy can play in space like a slot receiver. This guy is an explosive runner. He's a receiver threat. And most of all, he gives Mahomes in this offense another dimension of play. We need a run game that people are afraid of, people respect, so that we then can open up the wide receiver room. Now, there's another name that I know that people are swirling around, and that's TK, big Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce, he could stick around. I know, y'all know me. I've been the main one saying get him the hell out of here. But I don't think that this is the time that we need to prioritize the tight end position. If Travis thinks he's got another year in him, give him 1 more year. I mean, just let him play the role, make the play when your number gets called on, and let's just roll it to the next season, because truthfully, we've got way too much to address to throw prioritizing a tight end in this draft as well too. Plus, there's a lot of other talent in this draft that I think we could really capitalize on. Now, when it comes to the draft, I'm going to upset a lot of people with this. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Chiefs fans with this as well. We've got the number 9 pick in round 1, and a lot of people are speculating we go running back with this one. But as you can imagine, with my take on picking up Travis Etienne in free agency, I do not think we should draft Jeremiah Love. And I'll tell you why. First of all, let's get one thing straight. The kid is a freak athlete, okay? He's far from regular. He's quite literally bionic, I'm pretty sure. He spams the hell out of Y and B every time he runs the ball, but the kid makes the play happen. He's arguably one of the most talented running backs that I think we've seen in the last 5 years, next to Ashton Janty. This kid would be worth every penny. He'd be worth every dime to come his way. And do I think he could absolutely revitalize our backfield? Most certainly. I think by every means possible he could. However, I do think that in the realm of what we need to prioritize, we can't waste a number 9 pick with a running back. There's a lot of running backs in free agency that could breathe life into this offense, even outside of Travis Etienne. What I do think we need to be prioritizing at number 9 is an edge rusher. This comes back to what I was saying about Boy Maffey and even what we should be doing with, Jeremiah Love versus Travis Etienne. I don't see as much value in the free agency market in the edge position as I do the running back position. We can fill for a running back and cement a running back for years to come, rather than trying to bring another rookie into the mix and let them be the life of the show. Given the last time we did that, the rookie year was great, but let's look at the current. No shade at Pacheco. I got mad love for you, my boy, but let's face the music. You haven't really been much after the rookie year, my guy. So the way I see it, this is the smartest play. Prioritize an edge rusher at number 9. Make sure we get a running back out of free agency, and then we can fill up the rest of the holes on the way. But when it comes to number 9, there's 2 names that jump off the page at me. One of them is obviously Ruben Bain. Ruben Bain is a freak athlete. I could give a damn about his arms being as short as they are. Y'all saw the combine. Y'all saw last season. It's not a problem for him, okay? The kid's not human. He's part robot. That's a cyborg coming off the edge. And I think he's the most explosive defensive end we've seen in recent years. So the way I look at it is, he would be absolutely who we should take at number 9. With explosive power, he's got efficient rush moves, he's very strong getting off the ball, and he also fits the mold of what Spagnuolo likes to run with this defense, this blitz-heavy defense on top of that. Now, the reality of him being there at number 9 is slim. Let's be honest. If there's 7 teams that are dumb enough to not pick up Ruben Bain Jr., Veach, I swear to God, if you don't call, I will freak the hell out. But I'm projecting he's going to be leaving the draft board probably like 5 or 6, if even that late. So it falls into who could fill that position. There's no other name other than David Bailey that jumps off the page at me. And David Bailey is also freak athlete. He's a very elite pass rusher. He's an impactful pass rusher. And he's got high pressure numbers, and he's known to disrupt the play. The kid's also a freak of nature. I know his combine shuttle, I know his split on the shuttle, whatever the hell that wasn't all that great. But I'm looking past that because I'm looking at raw talent in the season and what he does on that field. He's a force to be reckoned with. Going to the added caveat, he's a Texas Tech Raider. I mean, it's not like Patrick hasn't been in his ear. I'm certain he's been in his ear, and I'm sure he would love to play alongside Patrick Mahomes. So it almost makes too much sense. So the way I see it, number 9 goes one of 2 ways. If Ruben Bain Jr. is still there at 9, by every means, you take him. But if he's not, if he's gone, you go ahead and bring Bailey right into that number 9 slot, and then we sit comfortably until round 2 comes around. Now, when we get into the next set of rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc., there are 3 positions we need to be prioritizing here the absolute most. That is wide receiver, that is safety, and then cornerback talent. I start with wide receiver because that needs to be round 2, 3, maybe even 4's focus by the margin. Reason being is we have a wide receiver room right now that is very unpredictable, very uncalculated, and it's a lot of names that should be making noise but really aren't. Rashid, he's our wide receiver 1, but I mentioned before, I don't think he should be. I don't think he was ever designed to be. Xavier Worthy is still not developed beyond, being a vertical threat and a jet pass threat. Hollywood Brown, who had a decent year last year, but honestly not big enough for me to say we need to bring him back. If any of our receivers at the free agency I want to have back, it's Juju, because Juju can block, and that's something that we need out of a receiver that's going to be playing on the edge. So the way I see it, we need receiver talent. We need route technicians, we need zone beaters, we need red zone winners, and we need third down separators. And there's a lot of those guys in this draft that I would be sick we passed up on. A few names that come to mind off the top: Mekhi Lemon, Carnell Tate, Omar Cooper Jr. Now, Mekhi Lemon, that's your space creator. This kid is a natural separator. He is route tempo manipulation. He can change speed and direction on a blip, and he is automatic yards after catch. I think all the tape in the world proves that in itself. And in this offense, he becomes one of Andy Reid's favorite motion pieces. He's a slot mismatch, and he's a third down safety valve. And you could even say he could also add to the threat of the screen game that we got running with Rashee Rice right now too. He almost answers every question of what we need out of a wide receiver 1 in itself. The thing is, Mekhi Lemon is very sought out after, and truthfully, I would be surprised if he fell into the second round as late as we are in it. So with that said, if he's there, by every means, that's God's grace. Go ahead and make the call. But if he's not, it comes down to Carnell Tate. Also, very big name, and truthfully might be a pipe dream. I don't think Carnell Tate's going to make it late to the second round either. But this is another name that if he falls in the draft by any means, you run to the podium. You sprint to the podium. This guy is a true boundary presence. He is strong at the catch point. He comes down with the ball in contested catches. He's probably the most threatening receiver on the outside, catching anything towards the sideline or the corner of the pylon. And he's physical. He will beat the press every time in man coverage. I mean, truthfully, if Carnell Tate's on the field, that's the strong side of the field, wherever he's at. I don't care about the alignment of anybody else. That is priority number 1 for every defense. You pair him up with the weapon of an arm that Mahomes has, they're taking the roof off the place anytime they want. Not to mention, that pulls attention away from the other receivers so they can get some yards after catch. They can get some separation in man coverage. That's what we need, is somebody that can be the determining factor at receiver, but also distract the defenses to where our other guys can get some love in there too. Because we, as talent comes, we have a pretty solid receiver core. It's just that nobody's afraid of them. There's nobody that's to be concerned about. But as I mentioned, that's probably a pipe dream as well too. So there is one more name that I think is the most realistic that we could grab, and that's Omar Cooper Jr. Mainly because he's not that flashy, but that's honestly why it works so great. I mean, this kid runs clean routes. He's got strong hands in traffic. He's red zone reliable. He's shown that many a times. And the thing is, he can be the guy that converts on 3rd and 6. He can be the guy that keeps drives alive. He can be the guy that doesn't complain about the targets he's getting because he plays a wide receiver 1 position but doesn't need to. He was one of Indiana's most reliable targets, and he was not a wide receiver 1. So the way I see it, he could fit into this scheme almost perfectly. I think if anything could fail here, it's that we are making him a wide receiver 1, even though he may not be a true wide receiver 1. But that said, he's shown many instances where he is and he can be. So only time will tell. But I think if he's there in the 2nd round and the other 2 are not, there's nobody else that we should be looking for. And then we get into the later rounds, and this is where Beach has shown that he likes to get creative. He likes to find the diamonds in the rough throughout. Truthfully, I don't think that this is going to be, one of those kind of drafts. And I could be wrong. This is all my opinion of what I've researched. But there's 2 names that jump off the page at me the most as far as when it comes to D-backs that we need to be targeting. Dylan Thieneman out of Oregon is an absolute freak. This kid is a natural ball hawk. He's looking the quarterback into his cornea, and as soon as he flips the head, he's breaking the hips. And he's not looking for the receiver. He's looking for the ball. If the receiver's there when the ball comes down, he's making contact. But other than that, he's going up to get it. He's shown he can play sideline to sideline. He's got the IQ to run a D-back room in a defense and be able to play just about anywhere on the field. And his ball tracking skills are just so incredible. And how this works in Spags' defense is this guy can rotate into deep coverage easily. He can help disguise coverages easily. And most of all, he creates turnovers, something our defense took a major step back in last season. The thing about Dylan Thieneman, he's not the flashiest name in the draft. He's far from the best safety that's in the draft, but that's okay because he's instinctive. He's a naturally instinctive safety. And you know who loves instinctive safeties? Defensive coordinators that blitz 40% of the time. And lastly, who I think we should be pairing with that is none other than cornerback Colton Hood out of Tennessee. This guy is rookie Trent McDuffie 2.0. He's as physical gets at a cornerback position. He plays it like a damn linebacker, for crying out loud. He is willing to hit anybody at the point of attack. He can press off the line, he can disrupt the route, he can throw off the rhythm, and he's physical throughout the entire play. The kid doesn't give up on the play, no matter where it's at. And that's the hunger you need out of a cornerback to pair up across from Trent McDuffie. I think you got those at a 1-2 punch. Throw Dylan back there at safety as well. My God, that's a secondary that anybody's terrified to see. So we're talking about a guy that's not just covering receivers. He's literally bothering them with his ability to jam timing routes, disrupt the rhythm on cuts and breaks, and most of all, be able to play inside if he needs to. The kid's versatile enough to do so. He could run down a nickel if he probably has to. And I'm sure Spags would probably give him a couple reps to see what it would look like. The thing about this kid is he gives versatility and he gives attitude. It's that killer be killed attitude with this guy. And every defense needs at least one cornerback, let alone 2, that look like they're making everybody on that offense hate their Sunday. So all things considered, if we execute this draft properly, and properly meaning with my predictions, we go edge at number 9. We go wide receivers in rounds 2 through 4. And then we get into the D-back room and we go ahead and give some life there. But those are the areas I think we need to target the absolute most. What do you think? I know some of you guys that are Chiefs fans are probably ready to wring my neck right now because I'm talking about not to get Jeremiah Love at number 9, but look at the grand scheme of it. Travis Etienne, we still got a lot of talent we haven't seen out of Rashard Smith. You pair him up with a veteran like Etienne, man, I mean, we could be looking at one of the best running back duos in the next 2 years out of the Chiefs backfield with those two. Given, I think Jeremiah Love would be an insane impact out the gate, but down the line, he's going to cost way too much. And I also don't want to have another rookie trying to prove it on his rookie year because that's what we're going to throw him in the fire. I think he could take it, but I don't think it gives us the development we need in our offense. We need to cement some things. We need to get out of, putting these rookies in prime positions and expecting them to be able to deliver. I don't want another Sky Moore at my running back position. We already had Sky Moore at my wide receiver position. Coming back to what I said earlier, Chris Jones turned 32 this year. Contract is up in 2028, and I don't see him extending or renewing or signing a new contract. That'll be it. So we need to get him help now, and we also need to find his successor for later because when 2028 comes around, we still need to be able to attack the same way we are now. Spag's going to keep the same defense rolling like it is. So with these pieces all put together, our run game becomes explosive. Our pass rush becomes future-proof. Our receiving core becomes smarter, sharper, crispier, And most of all, our secondary becomes more opportunistic, mainly to create those turnovers we need. That is how you rebuild a franchise without rebuilding. But all things considered, I want to hear from you guys, man. Chiefs fans and Chiefs haters alike. What do you guys think? Are these the targets the Chiefs should be prioritizing? Am I missing anybody? Is there a name I look past going through the draft combine and the free agency portals and everything else? Because I think this is foolproof. I think this would put us right back into Super Bowl contention come next year. But I want to hear from you as well too, so drop it in the comments down below. Do you think we should pick up ETN? Do you think we should pick up Ruben Bain? Do you think we should be targeting a receiver like Carnell Tate? Drop it all down in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going, because when draft day comes around, oh, I can't wait to have a review video, because I'm either going to be real happy or I'm going to be real pissed with each. But all that said, guys, thanks for tapping into another episode of the Social Club. It's been Serg and it's been well, and until next time.